Welcome back to Career Build Series. This is episode number 109. And so the last episode went ahead and took some of the diesel and jet fuel from our pumping station and brought it to FJ. Then I went ahead and I loaded it on the Albatross, brought it up here to the military base, and then used the mini truck to sell it. So if we go ahead and we take a look at the bank account, as you can see, we have $606,000. So this was kind of a long little money run I was doing to be able to launch Triton. So we bought this island not too long ago. This island here is a custom island. I can build a couple bases on top of it, so we can build some land structures and make our own home base, which is going to be really cool. That's an element of the game I don't think too many people get into. That's a lot of fun. And we can also launch the home ship. So the home ship is just shy of $500,000 to launch. So Triton can hold 172,000 liters of diesel. So we have 108,000 in FJ. So what we'll do is we'll take about half of that fuel. We don't need all of it. And we'll motor up from FJ and we'll sail up to the new island that we bought there, and we can actually launch and hide Triton inside of the cave, which is a really cool feature of that island. So currently we're at military base. We're up here, and so what I want to do is I want to head down to the south, probably take an airplane, and we will go pick up Triton. So this has been a long time coming. I've really been wanting to get Triton back in. For those who are unfamiliar with Triton, Triton's a home ship. It's a ship where it is a home away from home, and so we can launch boats and helicopters, and I would like to make some drones for it, and so this is going to be a lot of fun. So I think we're going to take this. This is nice and economical and a little bit of fun to take. So this is my Ultralight. It has 2 seats. It has a 2-cylinder motor, and it's actually really fuel efficient. So let's start it up. All right, let's see. Lower flaps is 1, so they're manual lower flaps. We just need to lower them down a little bit for takeoff. Engine RPM, temp, compass ball, altitude. We have knots, battery, and fuel. All right, so I think we're all set here. Let's see. Let's see what else we need. Beacon nav is 3. Strobes is 5, and park brake is 6. I think park brake starts off. So it's really cool. I really enjoy making these small vehicles. They're really some of the hardest things to do. Like I had to do a little bit of XML editing, as you can see, to hide the micros in the struts there. You know, so these are really pretty challenging to get everything hidden in there, and you really don't have much leeway. And so I really enjoy doing some of the small stuff. You know, so that would be kind of cool for a challenge, some more small stuff. All right, so let's get going here. So what do we need to do here? We want landing lights on. I don't know if my strobes are on. Let's check. You can look on the wing. The strobes are off 5. And then beacon nav 3. They might not be working. I'll have to check them. Here we go. And let's check our speed there. Airspeed's alive, 72 knots, and we're up. All right, we're going to put the flaps up. So this is a very manual plane to the point where we have 0 gyro. So there's no gyro in this whatsoever. So it's a little bit, you know, it's a little bit wild. We have to definitely fly it. We have to trim it. We can't, so like right now I need to trim my pitch. You know, the gyro is mainly, it's doing kind of a auto trim function. So there's a little bit all over the place. But this is a really cool vehicle because it only has 25 gallons of fuel in it. And so you see it has 2 small tanks. So that makes it, you know, made it an engineering challenge, and that's what I like, is this was fun. You notice the wheels are spinning. One thing you do in real life is you tap on the brakes to stop them, because once they get off the ground, they vibrate really bad. So one of the first things we do is when we get off the ground and rotate, we would tap the brakes to stop the wheels from vibrating. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I will time-lapse you guys out, and I will see you when we get there. So here we are coming right into FJ. So let me just double check. Lower flaps is 1. We're going to go in as we change pitch power or configuration change. We need to trim. So flaps is configuration. We need to trim. So especially this type of airplane is very important. So speeds over here. Airspeed, we were doing like 150 knots, 140, something like that the whole way. So I think this goes like 145. This is actually pretty fast for its size. It's very light, and it doesn't need a ton of power. There's one cool thing. I know people's criticism of the animals, but it is cool seeing them on the arid biome because it is a little bit blank and vacant out here. So I'm just kind of looking. I want to keep that gauge kind of to the top of my screen. The needle on my airspeed should be towards the top, middle, and that tells me that's about my approach speed. So I don't need to see exactly what it's reading. I just need to know that it's about there. And touchdown. All right, beautiful. I'm just going to gently let it slow down. I'm not going to hit the brakes. So beautiful. So I'm going to start tapping the brakes now with the space bar, and we can turn. So very nice. So I really like this little thing. It's super cool, man. Building these tiny things, I think, is really rewarding. You know, you have to make a lot of engineering choices to get them to work. For example, there's no gyro on this, so I had to, if you see, I was a little bit crooked flying. That was because I was on my phone. So, you know, I had no gyro to take care of it. I was on my phone just kind of hanging out and, you know, hand flying it the whole time. But this is you know, I have to hand fly this. There's no autopilot. I have to do it myself. And that's more rewarding. It's more fun, I think. And so, kind of neat to be able to fly this. But this is a fun little plane. So we left with 25 gallons. So somebody actually in the live stream was asking how fuel efficient this is. We left with 25 gallons. Now we can actually hold more than that. When we spawn the airplane, if you look, it has a pipe. The fuel will spill out of the tanks and it will go into that pipe. So if I were to hook a hose to it, I could actually get more fuel in this. But we left with like 25.6 gallons, and we're down to 16 gallons. So we used about 10 gallons. We could go all the way back there and about halfway back. So we went from here down to here, and we could go all the way back and probably about to here on 1 tank of fuel in this plane. So very tiny, very fuel efficient, and that's a lot of fun to me, is to kind of build those types of things. So up, I fell out of seat. I was wondering why I couldn't control my H menu. Let's see, park brake is 6. All right, and then let's shut down. All right, and let's actually do a little test. We'll stick some fuel in this, and I'll see what the max capacity is. I forget. So it'll probably tip over when I try to fill it, but let's go ahead and we'll check it. So we could even go more distance because I can fill this even more with fuel. So let's see. As you can see, we can go up to 33 gallons. So we used about 10 gallons. So for our trip, so we could do 3. We could go down, back, and down again in 1 tank. So that's a lot of fun. Even with this tiny little fuel tank, we can go very good distance. I'll go ahead and meet you guys over the dock. We'll worry about this type of thing later. All right, so here we are at the workbench. We're not going to take a full complement of fuel on Triton. I don't want this base to be completely empty, or else we're going to have to go get fuel. So here's the most recent version of Triton. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go down in my fuel tanks, and I'm going to go ahead and make sure we're not filling to 100% here. So what are you? Right there. So this is seawater. So this is my water ballast, and then let's see where we're at. So water ballast, I tend to put a lot of water ballast in. When you make a large ship, as you can see, I have a lot of weight down here. Tons and tons and tons and tons, literally, of weight, plus a counterweight for the crane. All of this is water ballast. All right, and so above that, if you see this layer is all fuel ballast. And so this is all fuel, and below that is all water. And the thing is, as we burn fuel, we put more water in. So the system will automatically add water to the ship as we reduce the fuel in here. So what we're going to do is we have diesel at 100%. Let's go down diesel to 50. We don't need to be full here. So let's go 50%. And we'll go diesel to 50%. So we'll start with 50%. The ballast system, as you can see, $489,000 to launch it. We're going to get a bunch of performance warnings. And what will happen here is Triton will start to take on water. So if we look on the, if we look out on Triton here, you'll notice the water line. Let's hit pause here. The water line is high. What's going to happen is the ballast system is going to automatically take in water and lower us down. So as we burn fuel, it's going to take on more and more water to account for that burned fuel. So nice. All right, these are misbehaving for some reason. I will figure it out. Let's check infinite electricity. Okay, so Triton is definitely a work in progress. You might see I'll put on infinite electricity here and there. That's just to account for any issues we might have with Triton. Not being in a finished state. And the only way to really get this finished is to bring it in game. So that's what we're going to be doing. Now, if you currently, the devs are going to work on this. They said in one of their updates, they're going to make it so that the way that the craft interact with Parasite craft is different. So I have a couple Parasite craft on here at present. This is my man overboard boat. So this is designed for if somebody were to fall off the boat, that would go out and get them. This is the lifeboat. This is for very rough seas. It has auto-closing hatches. It has bilge pumps. It is completely enclosed so that it will be able to handle the roughest seas. It will also take the Remora, which is a fast rescue boat. These two ships are designed to stay very close to Triton. They never go outside of 2 kilometers from Triton. The Remora does, so I will have to spawn that separately, and Katie did as well. Or Hummingbird, or some of the other air vehicles that I have. So we're going to go start like this, and we're going to head out to sea. So let's go, and we have to go downstairs. Actually, I forgot this already. It's been a little rusty with Triton. Triton has a lot of systems, and I haven't really played too much with Triton since the last career build series. So Triton is set up like a realistic ship. It's meant to stay in the world. I don't just despawn this all the time. And so because of that, I need to actually come down here into the engineering section and turn on some systems. So this has automated harbor generators. As you can see, I just turned them on. And so this will automatically start the generators whenever we need the power. So right now, you hear it's all quiet. These are the main engines. And so these generators here are harbor gens. They will not turn on unless we need it. So when the battery drops down, this is all the battery I have on Triton, 4 mediums. And that's all we need. As you can see, we're slowly going down on battery. As soon as it gets down to a certain value, the harbor gens will automatically turn on, and they will they'll start to recuperate battery for us. So let's go ahead. We'll go upstairs, and we will start up the main engines from the bridge. So a pretty large ship. It was inspired by a Daemon fisheries research vessel. Let's go port. Starboard. Helm systems are coming on. I'm not sure what that is. Anchors are currently up and set. I think we're good to go. So let's go ahead, and I want to... The port is synced to the starboard, so we'll keep it there. And we'll start going underway. And here we go. So we're up to speed now in Triton. Let's go ahead and as you can see, we have the mast position is up. I have to change that. The mast will spawn. It will start to spawn in the up position, so when I launch it, the mast goes up. I can fold that mast down and be able to go under bridges, so I can go under the bridges in game. The issue is, in that base that we're going to, the mast will hit, so I have to, when I spawn it. I'm trying to remember... I have to set up the lights on the mast. That hasn't been done yet. So I'm just kind of looking at the systems here too, what I need to set up for Triton. So we're going to go ahead and I will get it. Let's get us under this bridge, and then I will go ahead and we'll put us on time lapse and let the autopilot take over. So I kind of have to go under the bridges here. I can go under any of these segments. I don't have to go for the tall bridges, which is convenient. Yeah, if you were in an enormous ship, you'd have to... It has sticky rudder, so I can look at my rudder position indicator and set that up. They're not a bad speed for a ship this size, so we're going 20 knots, which is actually pretty good. right, and so here we are, arriving at our own private island in Triton. So this is some late game stuff going on here. We're now able to do a lot with the money we've made. So this is what it's all about for me, is getting up to this level. So we now have an enormous ship. It's going to take a lot of fuel, so we need to make fuel. We need to move fuel around. We can start doing some cargo handling, some rescues off of Triton. So this is going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.